The main character was a typical anime back row sitter, and beside him was the serious female student that he admires. She was the smartest girl in class, and she was also the main character's crush. Then the main character asked her to help him review his wrong answers. She stood up, and got close to the main character. So, she did not notice that she made the main character bury his face in her melons. Then she apologizes to the main character for making him suffocate from success, but the main character enjoys that moment a while ago. In the next scenario, the main character accidentally drops his cell phone. Then his crush picks it up for him, and she sees the main character's calendar with some numbers indicated in each day, and then she returned the phone to the main character without any questions. The main character went to the library to do a single-handed gameplay, and he was thinking of his crush for his motivational material. Suddenly, he heard an extreme vocal expression. Then he saw his crush performing a self-care routine next door, and it was the main character's first time to see a live female performance. His crush grabbed a 500 horsepower shaking device, and she was using it to assist her gameplay. Meanwhile, the main character was amazed with the wonderful solo performance of his crush. The main character's crush was enjoying too much, that she accidentally dropped the remote of the shaking device. Then she leaned over to pick up the fallen item, and she saw the main character observing her. So, the main character immediately apologizes. She asked the main character if he saw her doing the unholy activity. Then his crush was now about to cry, so the main character revealed that he was also a fellow solo gamer just like her. After that, she felt glad that the main character was also a cultured person. Then the main character told her that the numbers on his phone calendar was his count of solo gaming per day. So, she was amazed with the main character's skill. The main character noticed that she was talkative right now, compared when she was at the classroom. Her hobby was solo gaming, and she can never tell others about that. Suddenly, she asked the main character how he manages to do multiple times a day. Then the main character told her that he uses her as his motivational material. She revealed to the main character that she also used him as a motivational material a while ago. However, in her entire solo performance career, she have never reached the climax of her story. Therefore, she wanted the main character to help her reach the peak of success. Then she performed a single-handed gameplay, and the main character was assisting her with the shaking device. She was enjoying this majestic sensation, and this event was making the main character's Kraken rampage. So, he unleashed his raging Kraken to give it more freedom. Then she asked the main character to play a solo game together, and both of them were now doing a solo performance showdown. It was her first time to see a legendary sword, so she touched the sacred weapon. As a result, the main character was not able to hold back, and create a viscous volcanic eruption. Therefore, she got mad, because the main character reached the finish line without her, and it was very unfair for her. So, as a revenge, she will use the main character as her motivational material by doing the Gulp Gulp 3000. Then she was multitasking by giving herself a single-handed gameplay at the same time. The main character was enjoying this out-of-this-world experience, and he was now about to reach his limit. Therefore, the main character told her to stop. The main character wanted to be cooperative, so they performed the number 69,000 combat position. She continued her feeding frenzy game, while the main character was giving her a helping hand. In addition, he also uses the shaking device for a combo attack on her dungeon. So, she feels that her world was spinning around. After a while, the main character reached the finish line again first. Then she felt disappointed, because she was close to reaching the peak of happiness. So, the main character wanted to compensate, and he was now grinding his legendary sword at the gateway of her paradise. Then she was rating this new experience as the best so far. The main character suddenly lost control of his speed, and he was overspeeding at the entrance of her underground tunnel. So, he created an explosion. She wanted the main character to continue, because she wanted more. However, their lunch break was over, so the main character decided that they will continue at his place later. Then she agreed to his suggestion. After that, they returned to the classroom. Suddenly, the main character's crush told him that she left her textbook at home, so she wanted the main character to share his textbook with her. The main character agreed, and she moved her seat closer to the main character. Since she was now sitting next to the main character, she was touching his hidden weapon. She hadn't finished her business a while ago, so she wanted to continue their bonding moments. Therefore, the main character joined in her shenanigans, and he was giving her a helping hand. Then the two characters were now helping one another, and she wanted the main character to keep his mouth shut. They were now having mixed emotions, but the teacher ruined that moment, because the teacher called the main character's crush to answer the next problem from the textbook. She was a smart lady, so she was able to answer the math equation right away. Then the main character was amazed with his crush, because she instantly changed attitude, so no one will notice the illegal under the table activity. Eventually, the class was over, and she cannot hold back anymore. Then she asked the main character to go to his place right away. They took the train, and she keeps on petting the legendary Kraken as her comfort companion. So, the main character cooperated in her public activities, and he was now grabbing 2 pieces of cake. After a while, the main character told her not to do this again in public for safety purposes, and she was forced to agree to his public decency order. Eventually, they reached the main character's house. Then the main character told her that his family was not around the house today. She started their bonding moments by grinding the legendary sword to the entrance of her underground dungeon. Then the main character was not able to hold back from her relentless friction making. So, he created a white explosion. Meanwhile, she felt sad, because she was not able to reach the finish line again. The main character felt sorry for being a solo finisher. She asked the main character why he was the Flash, so he told her that the entrance of her dungeon have high quality specs. Then the main character suggested that she might be able to reach her finish line if they performed the clapping activity, and he promised to her that he will hold back until she reaches her winning conclusion. She felt excited and agrees to the main character's suggestion. They went to the main character's room, and his crush was not wearing any armor. Then they started the clapping exercises. The main character was enjoying his tour in her underground cave, because it was a comfortable travel destination. So, the main character gained some size development, and she noticed this massive improvement. The main character was using his rod of destruction, so he was reaching deeper than Mariana Trench. Then her brain cells were overloading from experiencing too much sensation. In addition, the main character combo his attack by carrying her melons growing on her front yard garden. After a while, they decided to change battle position, and they were doing this to perform their mission of face-to-face combat. Then the main character's crush complimented the clapping exercise, because she feels like this was the key to reaching the climax of her story. Anyways, the main character continued their indoor clapping activities, and then he was now about to reach his limit. Therefore, he took a break by kissing his crush. After that, the main character continues with his drilling operations, and finally, the two of them reach the finish line together. Then his crush thanked the main character by doing the Gulp Gulp 3000. Her natural talent was high-level performance, so the main character was able to stand again in 90 degrees. She noticed the main character's greatness, so she requested for more bonding moments. Then she rides on the Iron Pegasus, and their bonding moments reached until morning, and she was still fine without sleeping. In the next scenario, they were on the train, and his crush updated the main character's daily white explosion count. Then the main character told his crush that they might be able to break their record next time, and his crush was ready to accept that challenge. That's the end of this cultural anime recap. The main character was honest, and told his crush about his forbidden secret. Therefore, the moral lesson of the story, honesty is the best policy. By the way, here is your special sauce that is limited only to the culturally matured people, and thank you for watching.